In Unit 6, which is inequalities. Today we're going to be solving multi-step inequalities. So remember yesterday we looked at solving a one-step. The main difference between a multi-step equation and a multi-step inequality is we graph the solution set, and we also have to remember this one rule that makes it different as well. Anytime we multiply or divide both sides of an inequality by a negative number, then the inequality symbol flips. So the steps are very similar to that of solving a multi-step equation. One, we're going to simplify if possible. Number two, we're going to draw the upside down t through the inequality symbol. Isolate the variable by using those inverse operations. Remember addition, we use subtraction. Subtraction, we use addition. Multiplication, we use division. And division, we use multiplication. And then here's where that one rule comes. It only happens when we multiply or divide both sides of an inequality by a negative number, then the inequality symbol flips. After that, we repeat steps 2 and 3 until the variable is by itself, and then we graph our solution set. So here we go. Let's try this. So we're going to start here on number 1. I have 2x minus 6 is less than negative 14. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have to get rid of the 6. So I'm going to add 6 to both sides. So that gives me 2x is less than negative 8. Then I'm going to take and I'm going to divide by 2. X is less than negative 4. So now I come down here to graph it. I'm going to go negative 4, 0, 4. X is less than that, so it is an open circle, and I shade to the left. And there is our solution. Let's try number 2. So on number 2, I start off. I want to solve this. So I have negative 3x minus 4 is greater than or equal to 1. So I'm going to add 4 to undo it. So that gives me negative 3x is greater than or equal to 5. I then am going to divide that by negative 3. Now, this is that time that special rule shows up. We divided both sides by a negative. So that's going to give me x is less than or equal to negative 5/3. We don't need to divide it. It doesn't simplify anymore, so we're just going to leave it. So negative 5/3, 0, and 5/3. So here we're going to put a solid dot because I can equal it at negative 5/3. And then it says x is less than that because we flipped that inequality because we divided both sides by the negative 3. Okay, let's try number 3 here. So we're going to start off. The first thing we need to get rid of is the 2. Look, it's a negative 2. So I'm going to add 2 to both sides. So now I bring down x over 4 is greater than negative 7. Then at that point, I have x divided by 4. So to undo that, I multiply by 4 to both sides. So I end up with x is greater than negative 28. I did not multiply both sides by a negative. I multiplied by a positive 4. So that's why my inequality symbol stayed the same. So now I come down here to graph it. I go negative 28, 0, and 28. And I'm going to do an open circle, and I'm going to shade to the right. Okay. Number 4, I start off. And I'm going to take and I'm going to get rid of the 6. It's a positive 6, so I minus 6 from both sides. Then at this point, I'm going to multiply by a negative 3. Now, this is where that rule comes back in. I multiplied both sides by a negative here. So negative 4 times negative 3 is 12. That's going to cause the less than symbol to become a greater than symbol, and then x. Then I come down here to graph. So I have negative 12, 0, and 12. I look at this and I say, okay, at 12, I'm an open circle. And then it says 12 is greater than x. So here's my thought bubble here. If 12 is greater than x, then x must be less than 12. So we would end up shading to the left. Okay, let's try these last two now. When I look at this first one here, I've got to distribute. So I'm going to take and I'm going to distribute this through. So that would get me 2x plus 12 minus 4x is less than negative 18. I'm going to put my like terms together. They're on the same side, so I don't switch signs or anything. I just put them together. So I have a positive 2x and I have a negative 4x. That's going to give me a negative 2x plus 12 is less than negative 18. Now I'm going to minus 12 from both sides. So I get a negative 2x is less than a negative 30. I'm going to divide by a negative 2. So x, now here's where our rule comes in again. We divided both sides by a negative, so it flips that inequality. Negative 30 divided by a negative 2 is a positive 15. So then I come down here to graph it. I have negative 15, 0, and 15. Open circle, shade to the right, because x is greater than the 15. Okay, let's try number 6. So the first thing I notice, I'm going to have to do some distributing on this side. So I have 6x minus 8 is less than or equal to 7x minus 14. Now I'm going to move. Doesn't really matter. I want my x's to the same side. So I'm going to move my 6x over this way. So we have negative 8 is less than or equal to x minus 14. Then at this point, I'm going to add the 14 to both sides. And that will get me 6 is less than or equal to x. So now I'm ready to graph this. So I have negative 6, 0, and 6. I can equal 6, so I'm going to close that in. And what we're thinking here is, if you look at the problem, it says that 6 is less than x. So x must be greater than 6. So that means we're going to shade to the right. And that is multi-step inequalities.